Oh, welcome back into Chatterbox Reds after an absolute dagger of a bottom of the eighth inning when Tony Santillan walks the second guy in the inning and then lets him come around to score. Noel V. Marte, a pinch runner replacement, gets put in the right field, bobbles the ball, 2-run score, and now your Cincinnati Reds are up against it, down 3-2, going into the top of the ninth. Tyler Stephenson hits a ground ball to the shortstop, thrown out to first base. We are 1 out in the ninth inning, 2 outs away from what is going to be a dagger of a loss. Joined by Craig Sandlin tonight. Craig, how you feeling?
I was doing a lot better about 5 minutes ago, man. It just a little bit of a dagger here. Really frustrating. You know, you have a 4-game series, so there's still a chance for a split if you're not able to come back on this one. But again, the inability of the Cincinnati Reds team to play quality baseball against not quality baseball teams has been certainly a frustrating story this year. If they drop this one, I think they dropped to 14-16 against the lowest of the low in MLB teams. So hopefully they can turn it around and Jake Fraley can get something going here and start a rally. But yeah, nonetheless, great outing by Chase Burns is potentially all for naught here. Yep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fraley
I wouldn't mind seeing Jake
off.
do something at the plate.
Yep. Fouled one straight off the umpire's mask. So we have a delay here as they check out home plate umpire.
I remember listening to an interview with Bob Brinley one time, and they said, "What's that like?" He said, "It's like getting punched in the face with a mask on." It's exactly what it's like. Like, yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah. Home plate umpire Jim Wolf getting checked out now by the trainers. All 4 umpires gathered together as they evaluate him. Pirates athletic trainer out. Jim Wolf kind of laughing a little bit, but
yeah, hopefully that's a good sign.
Looks like they're going to try and close this one out. We've seen a couple times this year already that, umpires have been hit in the face with pitches like this and then been removed from the game later with concussion-like symptoms. So, with only potentially 2 outs left in this game, Jim Wolf will stick it out and see if he can't finish it out. But hope he's okay. Dennis Santana on the mound for the Pirates. Again, facing Jake Fraley. Fraley so far today, Jake Fraley 0 for 3 today. Grounded into the double play in the second. Ground out in the fourth. Struck out in the sixth. The 1-1. Swung on and hit to center field. Not going to be deep enough. O'Neal Cruz will track it down 10 feet short of the track. And the Reds are down to their final out.
Yeah, I got the pleasure of sitting in the ballpark in left center field last night, front row. And we got to watch O'Neal Cruz and the amount of ground that guy covers in a short amount of steps, man. It's unreal. You don't want to hit it anywhere near that guy. It's unreal.
Big guy, long strides. Still learning the position. They talked about it on the broadcast, obviously. Moved out there from shortstop recently, but according to analytics, the worst center fielder in all of Major League Baseball, but certainly has the ability to make some plays while he's out there too. Brian Hayes takes strike 1. Hayes 0 for 3 tonight. Line out, ground out. Swing and a miss at the 0-1. It's 0-2, and the Reds down to their final strike as the Pittsburgh crowd comes to their feet. Good crowd on hand for Pittsburgh. I mean, nothing crazy, but certainly a solid crowd. As Dennis Santana comes set. And it's outside for a ball, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Overthrew that one.
Yep. I like the Apple TV broadcast. Ke'Bryan Hayes home run probability 2%. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, you're telling me there's a chance. Nope, there he went. And
not anymore.
Cincinnati Reds get beat 3-2 on tonight's Titanic struggle. We are going to come back on the other half of this and try to put together somewhat of a show. So let's do a podcast on the other side of this. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Johnny Bench is kind enough. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in four straight. It was a sweep.
In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Walker. The Reds win the pennant.
Larkins won the game.
That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none.
Welcome Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive. Left center field. Racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Does it have a chance? The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Are you kidding me? Holy moly, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win it. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
Welcome back into another losing edition of Chatterbox Reds. An absolute dagger of a loss tonight, Craig. Chatterbox Reds is always proudly sponsored by Deep South Commodities. Whether we win or lose, we're still proudly sponsored by Deep South. We appreciate the boys at DSC. Chatterbox Reds is your daily home for all things Cincinnati Reds all season long. It's Corey Phillips, and tonight I'm joined by one of the best, Craig Sandlin. Craig, we were feeling pretty good going into the 8th inning, and coming out of the 8th inning, it was a completely different feeling after an absolute dagger, and you spoil a gem of a start from Chase Burns, another 10 strikeout performance, a solid 6 innings, only gives up 1 run, and we have another bullpen, just a bullpen falter on the back end to really crush our spirits. How do you feel about tonight's Titanic struggle?
Look, man, I mean, you came into tonight, you were hoping to get Chase Burns, continue his momentum. He had struck out 10 or more in 3 straight starts before Bristol, and we're hoping to continue to have a strong performance from him. You did. You got that. But yet again, the offense struggles, only scores 2 runs, misses opportunities. And then, as you mentioned, Tony Santillan gives up the dagger of a double to Brian Reynolds in the 8th. And just like that, the hope is gone because you have 7, 8, 9 due up in your lineup in the bottom of the 9th. And just like that, it was over. So definitely a frustrating night. Definitely nights that, you certainly wish could have gone your way, and didn't happen tonight at all.
Absolutely. It's just the continual roller coaster of the 2025 Cincinnati Reds. As soon as you feel good about it, next thing you know, the rug swept right out from underneath of your feet, and you're just left grasping for straws and wonder where the answer is and what it is we can do to try to fix this lineup. But everything looked good going into it. I mean, I definitely could have had a little bit more offensive production. Jake Fraley rolls over that ground ball with the bases loaded, kind of missed an opportunity there, but a couple missed opportunities at the plate. Definitely a couple missed opportunities in the field, and it's just, I'm absolutely crushed, man. That's all I can do. I would want to come on here and hoot and holler and scream and yell and get ready for the setting us up for 3 out of 4, and it just turned so quick. But let's give them a box score recap and let them know what happened in tonight's game.
I don't know if anybody wants to hear this one, but nonetheless, the box score recap, as always, presented by Nicholas Kirby. The Reds look to bounce back a night after being shut out by Pirates ace Paul Skeens, but they don't get much of a reprieve, though. Max Keller takes the mounds for the Pirates. Chase Burns taking the mound for the Reds after his last outing was cut short by rain in Bristol. The Reds got back-to-back singles from Gavin Lux and Miguel Andujar to lead off the second. After a Tyler Stephenson walk, they had bases loaded with nobody out. Lux would score on a double play ball from Jake Fraley, and Andujar would be stranded on third after a line out by Ke'Bryan Hayes. The Reds led 1-0. Reds threatened again in the 4th after Andujar walked. Tyler Stephenson drove a ball to right center for a double, but a perfect relay from Jack Sawinski and Liover Pilguero gunned Andujar out at the plate. Fraley then grounded out to end the threat. Pirates got back-to-back doubles to start the bottom of the 4th from Brian Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz to tie the game at 1. Gavin Lux hits a 2-out double down the left field line in the 6th inning, which was followed by an Andujar walk. Tyler Stephenson, yet again, roped a double to right field off the new Pirates pitcher, Dory Moretta, scoring Lux and giving the Reds a 2-1 lead. Chase Burns sat down the Pirates in order with just 9 pitches in the 6th inning. He finished his day with 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. It's his 4th start with double-digit punch-outs in his last 5 starts, and he's the first major leaguer to have 4 such starts in his first 8 career games. Graham Ashcraft throws a perfect 7th, but Tony Santillan comes in for the 8th. He gave up a 1-out walk to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, then strike out Spencer Horwitz before Tommy Pham hits a single up the middle to put runners on 1st and 3rd. Brian Reynolds smokes a triple down the right field line, scoring IKF and Pham, giving the Pirates a 3-2 lead. Reds go down in order in the 9th and fall to 60-57 on the season final score. Pirates win 3-2.
Yeah, you're right. That was even tough to sit through the recap, man. After having to sit through it, it just kind of brought the memories up all over again. But let's try to get a DSC deep drive of the day with no home runs to speak of, and actually no home runs from Chattanooga or Louisville when I tried to look through there. So not a whole lot.
No home runs anywhere. Tortugas get shut out tonight. Dayton scores on a ground out, I think, maybe a balk. What did I see? Doesn't matter. They scored 1 run so far. Wasn't on a home run. Chattanooga, they scored on a balk. Apologize to Chattanooga. Congratulations on your run on a balk. And Louisville at this point, 1 run, no home runs. So I don't know if go on a deep drive of the day for this one. I guess we'll get Jake Fraley with his 362-foot fly out in the 9th. Somehow became the longest hit of the game, 362 feet.
362 feet. Okay, let's go with that.
Go. So Congrats to Jake Fraley on your deep drive of the game, 362-foot fly out in the bottom of the ninth as the Reds lose. DSC, a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. Thanks as always to our friends at DSC.
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way now. If you're feeling down and you're feeling out, you can always call or text our friends at 988. The 988 Suicide Crisis Hotline is a place to get support for anything related to mental health, whether it's an immediate crisis, simply wanting to find out how to connect with care, or anything in between. 988 is a 100% confidential and secure and anonymous way to reach out for help when you don't know where to turn. To connect, call or text 988 or visit mantherapy.org. It's okay not to be okay, especially after having to sit through that 8th inning tonight. 988 is definitely there if you need it. We got about 680 people here in the room, or in the live chat right now. So we appreciate everybody that's in here, and want to remind everybody to use our friends at 988 if you need them. Please like the stream and subscribe, and don't miss any notifications and all that good stuff too. So trying to spin this into a positive is not going to be an easy thing tonight, Craig.
No, there's the only positive here. You've got two positives, at least as far as I can see it. You've got Chase Burns, who continued his pitching performance and certainly showing that he can be a future ace. Obviously, he's the main story of the evening with his 6 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 3 hits, 1 run. The other one, obviously, Tyler Stephenson, who's been on an absolute tear ever since the break. He's given you a lot from the right-handed side of the plate, which was needed. Gavin Lux 3 for 4 tonight, scored twice, but again, defensively not great. And so Noelvi Marte comes into pinch run for him, and then ultimately Marte unable to field a ground ball out in right field. And who knows whether or not he would have been able to cut off that 3rd run for the Pirates, but misplayed the ball a little bit. It bounced off the wall in foul territory. He had to run up and get it, bobbled it. Just a really ugly play all around. And so for a guy who came in as a defensive replacement for Gavin Lux, certainly frustrating, and you would have liked to wonder what Jake Fraley would have done had he still been in right field for that play.
Yeah, absolutely. Hindsight's always 20/20. I mean, you're definitely going to second guess yourself, but I kind of felt like that way all night long when you start looking at some of our defense all the way around. And Duhar had a couple plays at first base were a little questionable, drops the ball, receiving it, and then almost tripped over himself trying to make the one catch at first. And then Gavin Lux chasing the ball like a dog chasing his tail out in the left field corner right there. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like we've got so many guys playing out of their natural positions that it comes back to bite you in these 1-run games. When you're giving up walks to the 9-hitter, your defense behind you've got to play solid. And when it's not going to play solid, and you've got Gavin Lux, who's no disrespect to Gavin Lux, is not a left fielder. You got Noelvi Marte, who's just learning how to play the position out and right. You got Andujar playing first base for the 3rd time all year long. We got a bunch of guys playing out of position, and it looks like
this is the 3rd time in his career. 3rd time in his career, not even this year. 3rd time in his career, Corey.
That's unreal. And it's just, you can tell. I mean, you can just tell by watching the game. It's not crisp. We don't look clean. We're not making the outs when we need them to. And it just got away from us, man. It absolutely got away from us and bit us in the butt. And I don't know. I'm just frustrated.
Well, and look, you take the lead in the 2nd inning, right? Or in the 6th inning. I apologize. You take the 2-1 lead in the 6th inning, and you pull Andujar out, and you put Espinal in as a defensive replacement, which Tito loves to put in Espinal as a defensive replacement late in the game. But then what happens is Santiago Espinal has to take a pivotal at-bat with a man on and 2 outs in the 8th against a right-handed pitcher. And you don't have a lefty on the bench. You don't have another option. But who would you rather have in that situation with an opportunity to either hit, continue the rally or potentially hit an RBI? Would you rather have Miguel Andujar, or would you rather have Santiago Espinal in that situation?
I don't want either one of them. Give me Noelvi Marte. Noelvi Marte. We have trouble with the glove. It doesn't have any trouble with the glove at 3rd base, but it's having trouble with the arm. Put him on the other hot corner. Put his stick right there where we absolutely need him. He's an infielder at heart anyway, and he wouldn't have to bobble a ball in right field. Give me Noelvi Marte right there in that situation. Put him on first base and let's see what happens. I don't know, man. I'm just beyond frustrated right now. There's always a million different options when you're looking at hindsight, but it's frustrating as all hell. And to see Espinal come up and get in at bat with runners in scoring position in the 8th inning, Kirby even posted about it on Twitter, is absolutely infuriating. And I'm over it, man. I've just had enough.
Yeah. It's been a really frustrating year, and it's tough. I was the first one. I put on my World Series champions hat back when we hired Terry Francona back in whatever it was, October or whatever. And I was excited. I was thrilled to have him on board. And look, at the end of the day, I don't know how much of this blame needs to go on Terry, how much of this needs to go on the front office, and how much of this needs to go on the players themselves. But at the end of the day, Terry Francona is stuck with a situation where late in the game, he's got a guy playing first base who's not a natural first baseman, who is maybe playing his, third start there in his career. Some people in the chat say maybe that's not true. I don't know. Nonetheless, he's not a first baseman. He's
Right.
played there a little bit. He's not a first baseman. So that's tough. You've got a first baseman on your bench in Spencer Steer, who apparently needed the night off because he wasn't available for anything at any point. Otherwise, he would have had a chance to hit late in the game. I don't know. I mean, it's tough because you don't want to have a team full of lefties and a team full of righties, but to not have an opportunity late in the game to have anybody on your bench that you can pinch hit for someone like Espinal or Andujar, or Gavin Lux, they pull him for Marte as a pinch runner in the 8th, and then he goes to right field. It's just, this team isn't really made up in a way that allows for the way Terry Francona wants to manage or seems to want to manage. And that's been the frustrating part, is time and time again, there's questions about the lineup. There's questions about substitutions. There's questions about how guys are used. And so here we are, that now we're stuck in a position where the starting pitching continues to give this team opportunities to win baseball games. And unfortunately, this lineup is not good enough to be able to make up for a starting pitcher who only gave up 1 run. And they're stuck in a position where they lose a game 3-2 again. I mean, I don't remember how many games last year the Reds won or lost 1-0. They've lost a bunch this year 1-0. The offense is really, really bad. And I know everyone wants to point to, well, if you look at the MLB standings, they're middle of the pack. Well, take away the 23-run game. Take away the 23-run game and then talk to me and let me see how many runs they've scored and where they stand in the standings. But for some of the situations to come up tonight where, you have to pinch run Marte for Gavin Lux, it's not like Gavin Lux is a super slow runner. I don't necessarily understand that to begin with. You have Espinal, who has to go in defensive substitution in the 7th inning, or in the bottom of the 6th, I should say, for Miguel Andujar, because you have somebody play first base who's not a first baseman. It's just frustrating time and time again. Missed opportunities again tonight. You leave the bases loaded there in the 2nd inning, or you have the bases loaded with nobody out, and you only score 1 run, and then you have another threat in the 4th inning. It just frustrating. I mean, I don't know what you felt about the J.R. House send there of Miguel Andujar in the 4th inning on that double by Ty Steve, but he's out by 5 feet at least, and
Wasn't even close.
Not.
I mean,
close.
I like living and dying with the aggression, but that's there's a fine line between aggression and insanity. And
but they're not aggressive any other time, Corey.
Yeah, and that's exactly it.
You can't pick and choose. You either have to be aggressive all the time, because then you can make up some of the losses that you have, or you never be aggressive, one or the other. But to come out and pick and choose and randomly do it, you have situations like this where Miguel Andujar is thrown out at the plate. Be smart about when you're aggressive. Why isn't Elly ever stealing bases anymore? I don't know. We're not aggressive on the base pass 99% of the time, and then we go out and we kill a rally by getting thrown out at home plate on a double by Tyler Stephenson. I don't know.
You're exactly right.
Frustrating night.
Nick and Trace brought it up last night. Our own broadcast crew brings it up on a regular night. The Apple TV crew brought it up when Elly gets on first base in the 1st inning, whether or not they're going to see him go, and he should be going on this pitch. And everybody's looking for the aggression, and it's just not there. And I can't wrap my mind around it as far as that's concerned. And just selective aggression, I guess, or stupidity, or however you want to look at it, to send Andujar there. I mean, it wasn't even close. It's not even close.
You can't afford to build a team around dink and dunk singles and not be aggressive on the base pass. In this day and age of Major League Baseball, the pitching is too good, especially the last 2 nights. You're facing Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller, 2 of the best pitchers in all of baseball, despite the fact that they're on one of the worst teams in baseball. to put together a baseball team that expects to score enough runs to win baseball games by hitting single after single after single is just not realistic. Major League Baseball, your average hitter is hitting in the 250 range. So to expect you to be able to string together enough hits to score runs is unrealistic. So to continue to run out lineups with zero power and then to kill rallies by running into outs at home plate, it boggles my mind.
It's a
It's just
recipe
not
for destruction.
alignment between top to bottom. It's just
Absolutely.
Not good enough.
And of course, it's always in the back of your mind, and you hate to keep beating a dead horse, but you got a little bit of pop, and a guy that seems to put some charge into our lineup, gets our lineup going and playing pretty well, wins us a series, saves us a game here and there, and is still manages to end up in AAA. And I'm not sure what the Will Benson situation looks like, but after you watch Jake Fraley roll over a ground ball with the bases loaded, it's infuriating, man. It's absolutely infuriating, especially when you've got that in the back of your mind. So, yeah,
you feel bad for Key Brian Hayes because he hit a ball hard the next at bat, but it just happened to be right to center field. And O'Neal Cruz, as you talked about during the game, he's a decent center fielder. He's got a lot of range. He was able to track it down. I mean, that was a hard hit ball, hit well. If Fraley hadn't grounded into that double play, nobody would think twice about Hayes ending that rally with that line out. He'd think, all right, well, he put a good swing on the ball. Now we turn it over to TJ Friedel. But it just didn't work out that way because you roll over the double play and you're hitting the ball on the ground.
Yep. It's an absolute, and it kills you too, because I was even looking at the bullpen usage or whatever, and you're absolutely set up tonight with Chase Burns. If he's able to go 6, Pagan, Ashcraft, and Santion are your 3 freshest arms, looking at the bullpen numbers. And so it was absolutely set up for us to go take charge tonight and put us in a position, and walks to the 9-hitter will absolutely haunt your nightmares, and it's gonna take me a couple of days to get over that one, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It just it's been frustrating. Honestly, I've been frustrated since the Bristol game. I don't really want to get into the whole Bristol of the situation, but losing an off day, losing Chase Burns, just the crap show of a situation that was too. Not trying to make excuses for these guys, but just seems like it's been a crap week up to what has led to this Friday night catastrophe.
Like, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is a fine baseball player. He's hitting 270 on the year, but he's not going to hurt you. Like, there's no reason to walk him. If he gets a base hit, he gets a base hit. He's got 1 home run on the season. Like, he's not a threat to hit a game-tying home run in that situation. So to go in there and then to walk him is, like you said, the first issue. You can't walk a guy in that situation. You've got the lead. Make him beat you. He's not going to. And then obviously you get Spencer Horwitz to strike out. Tommy Pham gets that single. You're in a tough position with Brian Reynolds. I mean,
on an 0-2 count, Tommy Pham got a single with an 0-2 count.
0-2 count.
I'm sick of 0-2 singles, man. I don't know. I'm not a fan of putting the ball in the strike zone on an 0-2 count. Nibble on the outsides, do whatever it is you got to do. Nothing to hit on an 0-2 count. It's kind of how I've always lived. But when those 0-2 daggers will absolutely haunt you too. So between the walk and the 0-2 hits, it's a recipe for disaster. It's frustrating.
Yeah, really frustrating. Let's talk positive for a minute, Corey.
Okay.
Let's turn it around here.
I like it
because that's what we do on this show. We sometimes Chase Burns more and more is reminding me of a young Hunter Green. And you look back to Hunter Green when he was younger, and I'm seeing very similar trends with Chase Burns. You talk about the 0-2 hit to Tommy Pham. Chase Burns, I don't know how many times he got ahead 0-2 or at a 2-strike count and then wasted pitches because he didn't trust his stuff to get the out. One of the things that Hunter Green, I feel like, has learned over the last year or two is to trust his stuff and to go out there and just attack guys and force them to beat you. I think Chase Burns right now is trying to be a little too cute sometimes, but man, does he have good stuff. And I think as he learns, especially under the tutelage of Hunter Green, he's going to have an opportunity to be Hunter Green 2.0 with that fastball, that slider, as he continues to work on that changeup and add a third pitch. There's no doubt in my mind that he can be an ace for this ball club moving forward. And I'm really excited about that. He looked good again tonight. We talked about his stat line already, but a couple other stats that people have thrown out there that I found interesting. Most strikeouts through their first 8 career starts by a Cincinnati Red. Chase Burns is third with 57 now. And that's despite the fact that his last outing, he ended after 1 inning because of rain, right? So he should be probably ahead of that. Chase Burns tonight touched 101.4, his fastest fastball of the year. So congrats to that. And then the other piece, again, shout out to Reds fan Brandon on X. Only 34 pitches in Major League Baseball history, no Reds, have posted 5 consecutive starts of 10 plus strikeouts. Obviously, the rain in Bristol likely prevented Chase Burns from reaching that. Otherwise, 4 of his last 5 got that number. And then the final one, I mentioned it before, the first major leaguer in history to have 10 strikeouts or more in 4 of his first 8 games. Only 2 other pitchers did it in 4 of their first 8 starts, but those 2 pitchers started as relievers, Bob Feller and Fernando Valenzuela. So Chase Burns well on his way to being another Reds ace. And I got to say, the way that Nick Lodolo has been looking, obviously he's hurt right now. Hunter Green, obviously hurt right now. But between those 3, and then you add in Andrew Abbott, this Reds rotation with the opportunity for Brady Singer or Rhett Lauder or one of the other starters that is on this depth chart at this point, they have an opportunity to be, I mean, I say this kind of tongue-in-cheek, but historically good. Like, this rotation has a chance to be historically good. And this front office has a responsibility this offseason and moving forward to put some offense on the field, because if they don't, you're going to be wasting that rotation, because the fact that you've got really 4 guys who any given year can be an all-star, in my eyes, is absolutely the recipe to be a World Series contender. And if they don't put some offense on the field, I'm going to be really frustrated, because their window is now. They have an opportunity to be good enough. This front office has to step up and has to put the offense on the field in order to do that.
You're absolutely right, because if not, you're going to turn into the Pittsburgh Pirates, where you rush out, your top 2 guys every night. You can't seem to get a win. So the pitching staff and the starting rotation, I've never been more excited about as a Cincinnati Reds fan for as long as I can remember, to be honest with you. I mean, you're talking 3 legitimate aces at the top. You get Hunter Green healthy. Andrew Abbott's showing this year that he can be that guy. Obviously, Chase Burns is showing number 1 stuff. We're getting the best out of Nick Lodolo. It's hard not to be excited about the starting pitching. But like you say, if you don't have the offense to go with it, you're missing the boat. And our window is now. Our window is now with Elly. Our window is now with our pitching staff. We've got to do what we need to do to get guys around it. We've got to get more power, especially playing in that little ballpark. We've got to take advantage of our bandbox of a ballpark and get some guys that can hit dingers, because you're gonna need it, especially when guys are putting up 1 run through 6 innings and still can't get wins. You got to get the offense out there to get around these guys. But it's never been more exciting as far as starting pitching is concerned to be a Cincinnati Reds fan.
Yeah, really frustrating. We have a Pirates fan in the chat who is accurate. I mean, realistically, the Reds and the Pirates have had about the same amount of postseason success over the last 15 years, 20 years. Yeah. So, I mean, there's really no difference right now, unfortunately, as much as you'd like to say that the Reds are in a better position. And the truth of the matter is that the Pirates and Reds are probably very similar. I mean, you look at the Pirates and their starting rotation, with your aces and Mitch Keller and Paul Skeens, versus the Reds, and just the inability to score runs. I mean, there's no reason that Paul Skeens should be a 500 pitcher at this point in the season, but here we are. He's got a sub-2 ERA, and he's sitting at, I think, 8-8 on the year. So, that says a lot about their offense. Obviously, the Reds' offense, we know the woes that they're facing, but yeah, it's just the front office has to make a decision on what they're going to do. And unfortunately, based on previous statements from Nick Krall about, prioritizing hard hit balls and the attack from Chris Valleca and otherwise, I don't know that I have a whole lot of faith in that happening, Corey. Like, realistically, this offseason, if I remember correctly, the free agent class is not that good. I don't think there's a real bat out there that gets me super excited at this point to go out and spend the money to bring them in. So, you got better defensively. Your rotation is great, but if you can't put a run on the board, then what does it matter? So at this point, I'm going to hold my breath and hope that the Reds can find a way to score some runs moving forward. But otherwise, we're going to be on the outside looking in at this playoff run at the end of the year.
And that's my biggest fear. All I've said from the beginning of the year is I just wanted to play meaningful baseball in the month of September, and August is pushing us further and further away from that. And like you say, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the answer is to get this offensive spark going. I mean, we're going to have something different out of Austin Hayes besides rolling over fastballs and that sort. I mean, it's a different lineup with him in it, and I feel better with him in the lineup. But my man has been on the slide since the All-Star break, and he's got to be. We're just missing that big bat. We're missing that guy that everybody fears when he comes to the plate. With Elly being in the slump, what is it? 1 home run in his last 37 games, I think it was. So, it's sorely lacking right now, and I'm not sure exactly what we've got to do, but we're gonna have to do something, especially with we're facing. I don't even know who we're facing tomorrow. Is it still the to be determined? Have you seen a starting pitcher name?
Last I saw was to be determined, but let me look.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'll bring this up just because we're kind of talking about it. Kyle Schwarber doesn't move the needle for you. Kyle Schwarber is not going to get paid by the Cincinnati Reds. I know everybody wants to talk about how he would come home and act like he'll take a home team discount. There's absolutely zero reason for Kyle Schwarber to take a home team discount to come to the Cincinnati Reds with the way that they are. That's just the way the truth of the matter is that they're not going to pay him what he needs to be paid, even with the home team discount. So if he wants to come here, that'd be great. But realistically, I don't think he fits what the Reds think that they want to be. And I don't think that that the Reds are going to pay him anyway. So it doesn't really matter what you want to talk about. At this point, Kyle Schwarber, until I see otherwise, is a pie in the sky dream for me. So, would he move the needle? Absolutely. Is it a realistic target in my eyes? Not based on anything the Reds have done in the past.
Nope, and that's exactly it. Especially with we're going to be a little bit hesitant about trying to go get the big bopper again. Not that Kyle Schwarber is anywhere near what Jeimer Candelario and Moustakas has been, but you get yourself into a Rafael Devers situation like the Giants have themselves in, and my guy's just taking an absolute slide since coming to the Giants. It's what do you do? So you got to be real careful as far as who you want to throw a bunch of money at. There's a fine line there somewhere. I'm glad I'm not the guy that has to make the decision, and I'll be honest with you, I'm glad it's not my money all at the same time. But there are guys that move the needle, but as far as realistic situations, we're going to have to be realistic about it with what is a small market team.
Yeah, and there's multiple comments in the chat about them needing more than one bat, and I agree with that. But I think the challenge for me is trying to figure out how you find the right bats that fit in to this team and what they've built so far and what your holes are going to be moving forward. Because you can't just go out and find a power hitting third baseman at this point. You're invested in Ke'Bryan Hayes, whether you like it or not. You're not going to go out and find a power hitting first baseman because they love Spencer Steer for whatever reason. So it's got to be an outfielder, but they love the platoon outfield. So I don't know what it's going to look like. Maybe it's someone to replace Hayes, who they seem to be in love with in DH every day in the cleanup spot, even though he hasn't necessarily come through. I don't know, but at this point, I'm in a position where I can be swayed very easily. I'm just going to be blunt. Like, I'm in a negative state of mind right now. It won't take much because of how good the starting rotation is for the Chatterbox Bengals. Make sure you check us out after every game. For the Reds to get to a position where I think they can compete, because I don't think they have to put up 7, 8, 9 runs a game. I think they can win baseball games scoring 4 or 5 runs a game, but right now they're just not doing it consistently enough to make that happen. So look, this offseason is going to be really important. Obviously, they went out and signed Jeimer Candelario 2 off seasons ago. They got Austin Hayes this year. I'm going to have faith that they're going to make a move. It's just a matter of what it is and will it really move the needle. And just like every offseason, I'm sure I will be sucked right back into thinking that the Reds are World Series contenders. And hopefully I just won't be left disappointed like I have been the last several years.
It's a tightrope walk being a Bengals fan and a Reds fan, man. It's couple front offices that are a little bit hard to deal with sometimes. So it's being a Cincinnati fan is not for the faint of heart. So you being on Chatterbox Bengals and Chatterbox Reds, you're wearing it both times. So we appreciate you, Craig, and all the work you do, man. It's not easy to do. That's for dang sure.
Man, let's just say that if the Bengals have a year like they had last year, the end of the season Chatterbox Reds that I'm filling in on are going to be brutal. Yeah, so y'all better watch out. The Bengals better come out hot, because we can't have the end of the season with the Reds and the start of the season with the Bengals going the way they did last year. So yeah, we need it better.
Absolutely. Well, let's try to get to tomorrow's game, man, and get a win tomorrow and try to split this series and get the hell out of Pittsburgh. For whatever reason, we have an absolutely atrocious record in Pittsburgh. So I for one cannot wait to get the hell out of there. But We've got Nick Martinez on the bump tomorrow against to be determined. I tried to look through Twitter a little bit to see what they were talking about. I heard a lot of their fans were calling for their phenom, that Bubba Chandler, their number 2 prospect. But then when I started looking it up, he pitched on the 5th. So I don't figure it'll be a Bubba Chandler call up, but maybe a bullpen game or something tomorrow. Did you see anything else out there?
Still TBD.
See in the chat, TBT go throw a shutout tomorrow. Let's hope not.
It looks like right-handed pitcher Braxton Ashcraft will get the start tomorrow.
All right, there we go.
Braxton Ashcraft.
I think they've used him as an opener once before, if I read through it correctly. He's made one bullpen start. So
started one game, pitched out of the bullpen 16 times, 3-2 on the year with a 3.24 ERA and 33 1/3 innings pitched. Struck out 28 during that time. This is his first year in the majors, so Braxton Ashcraft, 2nd round pick in the 2018 Major League Baseball draft, will go tomorrow, at least as the opener for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It sounds like 2 or 3 runs in the first inning to me. So let's just jump all over Mr. Ashcraft and call it a ball game. We've got our captain, as far as the pitching staff's concerned, coming back to the rotation after a short stint in the bullpen with Lodolo's injury. We got Nick Martinez on the mound tomorrow. He is 9-9 overall with a 4.66 ERA on the year versus the Pirates. In 7 appearances, he is 1-2. Last time out against the Pirates, he pitched on May 20th. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, and a 1-0 loss to the Pirates. So another good pitching performance last time by Nick Martinez and these Pirates, spoiled by our offense. So hopefully we can turn the chapter on that and get past this really bad taste in our mouth. A couple of Pirates have some decent. That Spencer Horowitz is 4 for 4 with a home run and a double. So him at the top of their lineup is a little bit scary. The 3 monsters we always seem to have trouble with. O'Neill Cruz is 2 for 5. Reynolds is 3 for 11. McCutcheon's 3 for 12. And I think they have 1 home run between the 3 of them. So that 3-headed monster, Nick Martinez has boded pretty well, but Horowitz at the top of that lineup will be a little bit of a challenge for Nick. Hopefully we can get another bounce back game out of him, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. His first game back out of the bullpen. Need him to step up. He's stepped up in big moments before. We've seen him do it. Certainly an opportunity. The Reds need to split this series. There's absolutely zero excuse to lose a series to Pittsburgh at this point. So certainly rooting on Nick Martinez. And, the struggle here is obviously, okay, the Pirates are going to go with Braxton Ashcraft as your opener. What is that lineup going to look like as they face a right-handed opener? I don't know what the Pirates are going to plan to do for length on Saturday after Ashcraft. So it'll be interesting to see how Tito managed that in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got, looking at some of their numbers here, the only guy they've got in their bullpen that's well rested is that Johan Ramirez. He hasn't thrown a pitch in 4 days. So that might be a guy they look to go to. I can't act like I know much about Ramirez, but just looking at their bullpen chart here, he's probably their most well-rested out of the bullpen, so it might be where they look to for length, but that's totally a guess off the top of my head just by looking at a guy that's well-rested. I have no idea what his numbers are.
Yeah. Doesn't look like there's any details on who will get the bulk at this point, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. In the meantime, we do have a Reds MILB today. Since Nick is off on the weekends, I wanted to make sure we touched on a couple things real quick, if you don't mind. First and foremost, AAA Louisville, they fall 7-2 to the Toledo Mud Hens. Obviously, the story of this one, Hunter Green making a rehab start. He goes 5 1/3 innings pitched, gives up 2 hits, but 5 runs, gave up 3 walks on the outing, 7 strikeouts on 79 pitches. 52 of them were strikes. Green gave up a 2-run home run to Jace Jung in the first inning and a 3-run home run to Justin Henry Malloy in the 5th. That home run in the 5th, both the base runners had been walked by Green for that 3-run home run. Green did retire the last 9 batters he faced. Reaver San Martin pitched 1 2/3 of 1-hit baseball. Zach Maxwell, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. And Buck Farmer, 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So rough outing for Buck Farmer. Offensively, though, Hector Rodriguez, 2 for 4 on the day with a run scored. Sal Stewart, 1 for 4 with a double. Will Benson, 2 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Reese Hines, 1 for 4 and an RBI. And CES, 0 for 4 on the day as the bats fall. Currently in the top of the 8th, the Chattanooga Lookouts leading 1-0. As I mentioned earlier, the 1 run scored was a balk. Ethan O'Donnell advanced to 3rd. Austin Hendrick advanced to 2nd as Ruben Ibarra scored on the balk. Obviously not a whole lot offensively in that one, but Leo Balcazar is 1 for 4, and Ruben Ibarra is 2 for 2 with that run scored. Ethan O'Donnell is 1 for 2. Austin Hendrick, 0 for 2. Austin Callahan, 1 for 2. Pitching wise, Jose Acuna started this one. He went 2 innings of 1-hit baseball. Not sure if that was injury related or if he was just limited in his outing. I'll have to find out more on that. But Zach Williman, not a guy that we've talked a whole lot about, but 5 innings in relief, 3 hits, no runs. Only struck out 1 so far, but shout out to Zach Williman so far. Again, that one in the top of the 8th, Chattanooga leading 1-0. The Dayton Dragons, they fall 6-1, or actually trail 6-1 to the Lake County Captains. That one in the bottom of the 8th. Nothing of note pitching wise, but Yerlin Confidant 0 for 2 in this one, and not Ariel Almonte 1 for 3. And then, of course, we got to talk about it, Corey. We got to talk about it. The Reds' 13th overall ranked prospect made his Tortugas debut today. Sheng-In Lin. Sheng-In Lin makes his debut. 4 innings of no-hit baseball, Corey. 4 innings, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk. Struck out 4 in his debut for the Tortugas. Unfortunately, the Tortugas fall 5-0 in this one to the Jupiter Hammerheads. Alfredo Duneau 1 for 4 in this game. Lantigua in this one. Arnaldo Lantigua 0 for 3. Eastmith Pineda 0 for 3. So struggle offensively for Daytona, but shout out to Sheng-In Lin. Congratulations on your single A debut, and a beauty it was.
Absolutely. That's exciting news. Get ready as quick as you possibly can, because we might need you out of the bullpen coming down the stretch if it keeps it up the way it is. But
yeah, we're going to need some more info from Putrid Talent on this super chat. Zach Williman and he were teammates and classmates. I assume this is in high school if you're going to talk about classmates, but shout out to Zach Williman. Great outing today out of him. So appreciate the super chat, Putrid Talent, and definitely someone to keep an eye on, apparently, it seems like at this point.
Absolutely. Just pulled up my scores just to run through the other scores that we are constantly worried about. Your Philadelphia Phillies are up 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th, as it is. What time is it? 9:52 p.m. as we are putting this out in the world. So it is 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Your Phillies are over the Rangers. Your Brewers, who seem to never lose right now, are up 3-2 on the Mets in the top of the 7th. Bottom of the 5th, and the Cubs and Cardinals. Your Cardinals lead 2-0 right now. Padres just kicked off in the bottom of the 1st with the Red Sox, and we got the Washington Nationals and the San Francisco Giants don't start until 10:15 tonight. So those are your other scores of interest that we are scoreboard watching right now. But after the bad taste in the mouth tonight, I don't feel much like scoreboard watching right now, because we're going to have to get some wins together, and none of this is it's all going to be for naught. None of it's going to matter. So we're going to have to get our stuff together, and hopefully it starts with a good Nick Martinez outing tomorrow.
Yep. Let's turn this around. Got to get it. Putrid Talent said Napoleon High School class of 2014. So shout out to Zach Williman, and congratulations on your outing.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts on today's Titanic struggle, my brother?
No. Turn it around. Score some runs.
And as always, go Reds.